State your name and
Name
address.
is Harry Fisher, 43 Porreca Drive. I'd like to correct something that Mr. Shropshire said. He was talking about the projected decibel levels at Silver Run School and at Porreca Drive. I believe he said something about, he talked about 3,400 feet, and he projected that at the neighborhood of Porreca Drive line, the expected decibel level would be in the neighborhood of 55 decibels, which he said were about the same as the ambient level of that neighborhood. I'll remind the board that 1 year ago, you heard testimony from Eric Swirling, who was speaking on behalf of the Citizens United group, who did a study, an all-day study in the backyard of one of the homes on Porreca Drive, an all-day study. His conclusion was that the ambient level of the neighborhood on that Saturday was 45 decibels. Now, I don't know if Mr. Shropmeyer wants to correct what he said, but that's what Eric Swirling arrived at. Our group met Friday with some of the developers' representatives, one of whom was one of their sound experts, who, in talking about the wall, estimated that at about 3,000 feet, which would be roughly the top of Porreca Drive from the light bulb turn, we should expect something in the neighborhood of less than 55 decibels. Much less is what he said. So we're a little concerned about these discrepancies. We feel at 45, as done by Eric Swirling, was the correct level.
So, Harry, what you're saying, the noise level is even less than what the applicant stated?
The ambient level
is much less than 55 or 59 decibels.
Yes, the
so
ambient.
That's much less noise.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
I want to add that we also talked last Friday about the noise that might be coming from the kart track, the go-kart track. We were concerned there. We asked for some type of sound barrier. We were giving a rather lengthy explanation about the type of go-karts and motorcycles that would run on the go-kart track. We took them at their word, but I want to make note, I want to go on record as saying, if we find that what they told us is not what we hear, we're going to be back talking to somebody.
Brom Palomountain, 41 Juniper Road, Laurel Lake.
Could you state your name again?
Brom Palomountain. It's Bromley. We're somewhat concerned about the noise situation also, and I guess the proof of the pudding is in the eating. What concerns me most is that the town ordinance controlling all of this, which basically I don't really consider to be control anyway, is at the 80 decibel level. So that we can look at these projections all we want. The fact is that if they are exceeded, they're exceeded. And there won't be any way to put a foot on it until you reach 80 decibels, if I understand the situation correctly. Now 80 decibels, 50 decibels is a lot of noise. And I think we're talking about rather continuous noise. When you get to ambient levels in a neighborhood, which have been reported in Porreca Drive, you're probably talking about lawn mowing and things of that sort, which is tolerable in a neighborhood. and expected. But when you get a race, I would expect that your continuous noise would be a great deal longer. So there are those two things involved, not only the decibel level, but the length of time in which it's active. Now, we're concerned down in Laurel Lake for the same reason. The reason that I'm down here is the quiet that I've enjoyed for the last 18 years. I see some of that going away. I think the track is a wonderful thing for the area. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that we're kidding ourselves if we think that we're going to have a pleasant time coping with the sound. And I don't know what recourse the public has if it becomes unbearable, but I think several things are important. One is that the monitoring in the first year be available in some form that a residence expert might be able to review, so that we're not completely at the mercy of the developer. That might mean that the residents have to hire an engineer also. But if it's a burdensome situation, that would be something that might be done, that might be undertaken. This, beyond that, I can't even begin to think what repercussions may fall from that. But I think that we have the makings of a potentially situation that would be difficult to handle later on. And I wish I had a good suggestion. I think when you adopt, when you welcome a neighbor of this sort, very experienced people running a very popular venue, that you kind of have to put up with what comes. But I think that what's going to come will be noise. And I just hope that the effect on our property values, that would be a negative one, to offset all of the positive ones that I know everybody here sees. So we can just hope for the best. And I guess I just have to leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you.